video, I'm going to be sharing some healthy habits for not only physical health, also spiritual and mental health. I think personally I'm a pretty healthy person. I would like to think that. I would like that to think that other people also think that about me, but hopefully. So these are like some staple things that I truly just do every day, and I think makes a difference in like health and wellness. And I think lately I listen to so many like holistic health podcasts and holistic health YouTubers and influencers, and it can become a lot. It can become overwhelming. And I think that's where a lot of people say, okay, this is too much, I'm just going to do nothing. I think that sometimes all the noise can become a lot, but something that I've truly just done for so long and has made an impact because I've done it for so long, it's just changed my life, is that I just take each thing with a grain of salt and just implement it where I can. And I really follow the saying, now that I know better, I'm going to do better. I just listened to this podcast about clothes that we wear and how they're so unregulated and there's so much like just bad stuff in our clothes, especially babies, like what you can buy for them. But like I've never heard that before. I had no idea. I did know like organic cotton is like good for you, so I tried to like buy the baby that kind of stuff. But you know, sometimes you get stuff from Carter's or you know, wherever. So I had no clue. After listening to this podcast, it's like, am I going to overhaul my closet and throw everything out? No. But am I going to try to buy better option stuff moving forward? Yes. So I think that's like a motto that I just try to do. You know, now that I know better, I'm going to do better, whether it be, you know, getting rid of plastic and starting buying glass, Tupperware, or things like that, where you can't overhaul your life in one night. But if you just continue to try to do better, you will. I have a list here in no particular order, but I think it would be good to start with like the morning time. The thing I do every morning, and I've been doing this more religiously recently. So I've always done this, but it's so easy to just wake up and just start going. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day, which might sound crazy, but I truly believe having like an hour, in this case 2 hours, to myself to like do things I want to do before the baby gets up is so great, because then when he wakes up I can be present with him. So I start by getting my cup of coffee. In my coffee I always do a scoop of collagen. It just mixes right in. It doesn't, you can't even taste it. It's perfect. So I always do that to help with my that helps with your like hair, skin, nails, and then I think it also helps with your bone health. After you reach like 25, you start losing collagen, so that little scoop in your coffee, it can't even taste it, and it helps add to that. I also do creatine in my water every day, so I just fill up my water bottle. I have, I think it's like 36-ounce water bottle. I try to drink at least 2 of those a day. So I used to have a 40-ounce one that I would drink 2 of. So I can usually drink like 2.5 of this one. My morning routine is make my coffee with my collagen and my creamer, and then I fill my water cup up and add creatine to it. I know that you shouldn't have coffee before you have anything, but it's just like so peaceful to me to wake up and have a coffee. So that's like, again, I know it's not great to drink coffee on an empty stomach. I actually think it's pretty bad for you, but it's my little treat in the morning. So, and then I sit down on the couch and I read for 15 minutes at least. I try to do like 15 to 30 minutes. Now that like today being home on spring break, it's easier to get in 30 minutes, but usually when I'm in the rush of working, it's trying to get out the door for school, it's more like 15 minutes, but as long as I get that in. I've been reading this book. It's called The Power of a Praying Wife. I might have mentioned this in another video, but now that I've actually allocated like 15 minutes to reading it, I'm actually almost done. I think I'll finish it tomorrow or the next day. So I love this book. I'm trying to do like a Bible study in the morning. So this isn't really a Bible study, but it is whispering because the baby's sleeping, and if he hears my voice, he will wake up. It's not really a Bible study, but it's about praying, obviously, and it references Bible. It gives you verses from the Bible. So I'm doing this right now. And then once I'm done this, I'm going to start, I think it's called Women of the Bible. And that one you actually have to get your Bible out and read. So 50-minute like Bible study, some sort of religious reading in the morning is been my normal. And then I've also been reading this. It's called Being There, Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters. I'm only on page 20, but I have been so validated in so many ways by this book. I'll read one part of it. It says, here it is. Women are told that we can do it all at the same time, and that's the standard to which we hold ourselves. To which I say, baloney. Superwoman is a comic strip character, and as far as I know, she didn't have children while she was saving the world. Your time and energy are not unlimited resources. Taking care of yourself requires that you reconsider and reset your priorities. You can't be a good mother if you are exhausted and depleted emotionally, mentally, and physically. For example, if you don't take some time for yourself during the course of a day, and if your child struggles to fall asleep, you may be anxious and resentful. As the flight attendant tells us, put on your own oxygen mask before you help your child put on hers. Okay, 20 pages in, but it's a must read. So anyway, I am a sucker for a self-help book, parenting book, any of it. But that has been my favorite parenting book so far, just because of the validation I've received in 20 pages. So, up early, my coffee, my reading. Then I have like an hour to just do what I want to do. And usually it's like unloading the dishwasher, doing the laundry, making the bed. Something I'm really trying to focus on is like getting dressed in the morning, putting on makeup, doing my hair. Even like on spring break, right? Believe it or not, I did do my hair this morning. I don't know what's happening, but I did it. Helped me feel better, more put together, like I have my life together. And then when my baby wakes up, I'm able to be present with him. We sing our songs, we read our book, we eat breakfast together. I'm able to just be with him versus like I'm trying to do all these things for myself and he just got up at the same time. So moving on to like workout, meal planning. I work out at least 4 times a week, and that's like weightlifting, running. So I usually do legs on Saturdays, legs on Monday, back and bis on Tuesday. Wednesday is normally a run. Wait, so that's 5 times. Wednesday is normally a run and maybe abs if I can fit it in. And then Thursday is a shoulders and tries, and then Friday off, Sunday off. Now, it's been really hard working full-time and doing that for myself, which is crazy, but it's just by the time I get home, by the time I get unpacked, and I've talked about this in other videos if you watch my vlogs, right? I call it the drop and go method, and I literally stop home, drop everything off, change. If the baby needs anything, I give that to him, and then I get out to go to the gym, because otherwise it's just too hard. But even that, right, everything's a rush after that. You get home, cook dinner, bath, bed, it's like so much. But I have been really prioritizing that, and I feel great. I feel mentally great. I feel physically great. So it's not easy, especially working full time, but it is so worth it to get your workout in. And even if it's just an hour at the gym, you know, I get to the gym and sometimes it's 4:45 and I tell myself I don't want to be here. I just want to go home and cook dinner and go, you know, relax with my family. But I tell myself, why am I doing this? Wait, find your why. What is the reason? It's not always that I want to go work out. I love to work out and take care of myself, but it's more so that I want to live long for my family. I want to be healthy for my family. I want to be able to pick up my kid and run. And I saw this TikTok recently that was about like, could you like run to your child if they were in danger? Could you lift something off of them? Could you pull them up to safety? It was like a fitness video, and I was like so motivated by that, because that's exactly why I'm working out. Not for myself, for my health, but so that I'm physically fit to take care of my child, and not only that, like be an active parent to them. So anyway, so make sure you have your why for working out, and then And it's something besides just looking good, because that's not always going to be, you know, when I was pregnant, I'm like, this seems so pointless because I feel so large and I'm working out and nothing's changing. But I also felt so physically strong and so good and so energized. And when I wasn't working out, I think I took like a week off when I was pregnant, and I felt horrible. So I felt so much better going and working out, even though it doesn't always feel, you don't always feel in the mood to work out. Discipline over motivation 100%, and find your why. We are gonna finish this video off in the laundry room because what happened was it was spring break and my baby was sleeping and my husband got home from work, and we like rarely have time together where the baby's sleeping, just because by the time the baby goes to bed around 7:30, 8 o'clock, we get up at 4 a.m. So my husband's usually like already knocked on the couch, or like basically asleep. So we're just so tired that we just don't get any like time. And this isn't a bad thing, but it's just like the facts of the reality right now. That to say, we had like time together for a little bit while the baby was sleeping, and it was actually just so nice to hang out and talk. So I put my camera away and stopped recording. But anyway, so I think that's one thing that I do a decent job at, is like life, the house will get cleaned eventually. So enjoy life. Like if I'm cleaning and it's nice out, we'll stop and take a walk, or, you know, spend time with friends outside, or whatever it may be. I don't know if other people feel this way, but I feel like I could just keep going. There's always things to do at home. So you have to like tell yourself you will get to it. It will get done another time. If there's like a moment to connect with people, whether it be friends, family, so. And then just coming back to it later or another time. Like right now, my husband got called to an emergency job. So it's like a Friday night. I made it a good dinner before he left, like steak, sweet potato, asparagus. So I was like all energized, fueled. And I'm like, this house has been feeling like, I clean my house every other week. So that week in between, I just feel like it needs like an hour or so pickup. So I just got that done. I just Swiffered, vacuumed, cleaned all the countertops, just did little things that needed to get done. And I just like, I don't know, I just didn't do, you know, just little pickups. So anyway, all that being said, back to what I was saying, another wellness tip is meal prepping and planning, or I'll say meal planning. I don't really prep that much. I might meal prep like a snack here and there. I plan our week, and I only go to the grocery store one time per week. So I plan all of our dinners, everything we're gonna have with lunches and breakfast. It's pretty easy because I just usually make a little bit extra of dinner, and that's what we have for lunch the next day. But I think that's the best way to like stay on track, eating healthy, not like throwing. I find that when I don't plan even like lunches, or like plan to make a little extra dinner, I'm like throwing random things together, and it's never like healthy. We really only eat out like maybe once a week. It's just in my mind, it's just like you don't know what's in the food. You don't know if it's being cooked. You don't know if it's frozen. You don't know if there's preservatives. So I just would rather, as much as I can, and now again, all this in moderation. If our family or friends ask us to go to dinner or eat or, you know, whatever, we're gonna go. I don't know. I just think that cooking from home and making your own stuff is, one, it's fun, and it's like you feel a sense of pride because you made it yourself, or you're trying a new recipe or whatever it may be. It's also like, you know what's in the food as much as possible. The other thing I was going to say about meal planning is I have an entire list on my phone of all the meals that I have made or I planned for the week. And then that way, you know, I can add new things to it. If I see something on TikTok or Instagram that I want to try, I'll put that on the list to try the next week. But then I can just pull recipes from that I've made before that have been a hit, and I don't have to like try to think of them. I also have a recipe box that I will write down recipes if I really like them. I did film myself making some gravy and meatballs. I will put that in this video. Is that a healthy dinner? Not necessarily, but again, I love it because I made it. It's from scratch. I know what's in it. If you are in a season of your life where you need to prep dinners, this is such a good one. But you can batch this so big. You know, when you're working full time and trying to also take care of yourself, going to the gym, and then also take care of your family and like be able to spend time with them, it's so nice to just have a freezer meal ready to go. And so you don't want to eat like junk. This is a good way. There's something you can do where you can double batch it. If you have like time on a Sunday to make extra, I would do that, because like I said, you know, having a freezer meal here and there, it's not the best. Like obviously it doesn't taste as good as it did when it was super fresh, but it really helps with time management, and then again, just making sure you're eating healthy. That's far. I don't know if I want more onions. 6 eggs. It is 5:30. I'm making these so early because I want to get them in the oven. I want to get the meatballs made because then when we get back from the gym, me and Mark Jr. can't go to the gym until 9 when the kids thing opens. So I wanted to get the meatballs done so when I get back from the gym around like 11, 12, I can just get the gravy on. But I realized that my husband is actually going to be home today, or should be home, I guess, while we're at the gym. So I think I'm actually going to make the gravy now too, and that way it's just done, and all we have to do is stir it all day, and then it's going to be so delicious because it's going to have been just sitting for so long. So that's my plan. If he has to leave, then he can just turn the heat off and put it to the side, and then when I get home I'll just turn it back on. It's not that big of a deal. It won't be like too long of a, I'm literally just going to the gym and coming right back. So that's what we're gonna do. Got the first batch of meatballs. We have a lot of meatballs going in the oven. So what I do when I do this is I just make so many, and then I freeze pretty much all of it, because I'm going to, we'll eat it for dinner tonight, and then maybe take a little bit of leftovers, and then the rest I will just put in containers and freeze. And it's so nice to have that as just a quick dinner. You just take it out of the freezer and it's so good. So, and with some spaghetti. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm also thinking I might make some fresh bread as well. I feel like that would be good with the gravy. So this is my family recipe. Got it from my mom, who got it from my mom, and we're just, yeah, it's the best. So I love doing this, and I have such like good memories of my mom when I was a kid, just making like a huge thing of meatballs on Sunday, like not every Sunday, but you know, here and there throughout the year, and then like freezing it. So it kind of brings me back to like my childhood as well, which I love. But there's nothing better than some homemade meatballs, gravy, and all that. I know some people don't call it gravy, but I do. I've always called it that. So anyway, let's get these meatballs in the oven and get the gravy going. Sauteed my onions and garlic, and now it's time to add everything else to the pot. Forgot to mention another reason why I wanted to do this now is because meatballs are done, then you can just add them to the pan with like the fat and everything. You get what I'm trying to say. Otherwise I would have had to like store them somewhere in between. So let's add everything else to the pot. Guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of all over the place, and I am sorry about that. I am gonna get better at, because I have like ideas for videos like this where I want to like talk about a couple of things and like record it while I'm doing it, but I just like get distracted and then forget to record, and then I'm like kind of all over the place with the video. So I'm sorry about that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.